Good morning, everybody. We are going to go ahead and get started with our warm-up. Your warm-up, remember, goes in your OneNote binder under the warm-up section, and it is what do the concept vocabulary words have in common? These are the concept vocabulary words from our two pieces of text, the Electric Boogaloo, You Are the Electric Boogaloo, and Just Be Yourself. So they are numerous, majestic, and immense. So what I'm going to ask you to do is take a few minutes and tell me what you think those concept vocabulary words have in common. Remember, when you're doing the warm-up, you can go ahead and pause the video so that you can move into your OneNote binder and get your response down. Okay, so now that you have your warm-up completed, I'm going to have you go into the root section of your binder for our vocab. Remember, we are still working with the suffix OUS, so I want you to find the what in the OUS, okay? So you're going to look at the picture that I have right here. Try not to get too nervous. Then you're going to use as many OUS words as you can to describe it. So you can, what is this person full of? What is this picture full of? What is this activity full of? What is this rock full of? So you're going to use those OUS words to describe the person or the activity, her hanging off of a rock with just her two legs, okay? So go ahead and pause this video here and get your OUS vocabulary done. All right, so now that you have your vocabulary done, we're going to go ahead and move into our main lesson. So when you go to our courses, if you could go ahead and click on our small group learning, click into your folder, and then you're going to find that connotation and tone. So our learning target is determining the connotative meaning of words and phrases in both of those texts that we studied over the past couple days, and analyzing how they affect the author's tone or how they reflect the author's tone. So by the end of today, you're going to be comparing and contrasting the author's tone in the two texts by identifying the tone in each selection, explaining the impact of specific words and phrases on the tone of each selection, and explaining how the tone of each selection is either similar or different. So it says that this will be done independently. Because you're watching this video, that's why you're doing it independently. Remember, you're watching this video now. We're going to complete the connotation and tone activity in OneNote, and then we're going to transition into the discussion post in Schoology. So in your OneNote binder, I'd like for you to find under the reading section where it says connotation. And it should have a short paragraph. All right, so what we're going to do, and you can follow along on yours, you can pause this at any time. What we're going to do is define connotation to kind of review. We talked about it in the Ed Puzzle. And then we're going to read a short paragraph and look at the connotative meaning of words and phrases. So if you think back, connotation, the feelings that are associated with words. So go ahead and get that definition down for me. Remember, you can pause this video at any time. So if I read this paragraph, I want to, find those words that have a strong connotation, whether it's positive or negative. Okay, and as I read, when those words stand out to me, what I'm going to actually do is put either a plus sign or a negative sign above them. So when Gautam met Jennifer, he found her honesty refreshing. So honesty to me has a very positive connotation. I'm going to put a plus sign above honesty. And same with refreshing. Refreshing to me is very positive. If something's refreshing, it means that it's good. Like a cold glass of water is refreshing. It makes you feel good. He had never met anyone who could be so candid, even when it might be easier to lie. So that word candid has a positive connotation for me. The word candid means kind of open, And normally people who are open with one another tend to be positive, or it's a positive thing. So once Gautam wore a shirt Jennifer didn't like. "You look like a clown," she said with a laugh. Now that word clown has a negative connotation, so I'm going to put a negative sign over clown. But that word laugh has a positive connotation. Another day, Gautam asked Jennifer if she thought that Sonal might be interested in him. "Not a chance," she replied with her usual frankness. Then one day, when they were out with their friends, Gautam sprinkled too much garlic on his pizza. That word sprinkled has a positive connotation, just a little bit, right? And then that usual frankness kind of means the same thing as candid. And I'm going to put a little positive sign above it. Again, Jennifer's criticism was straightforward. Now, instead of being candid or frank, which tend to be positive things, we've got this idea of criticism. That is very negative. So I'm going to put a negative sign above it. "Someone give this guy a breath mint," she exclaimed. That's when Gautam realized that being blunt was overrated. Now, a lot of times being blunt is associated with negativity, meaning you're too straightforward. So we have this change from her being honest and candid, which are very positive, to being more criticizing and blunt, which is negative. And that word overrated is negative as well. So based on the change in connotations of the words, we go from several positive to very negative. You can tell that the way Gautam feels about her is changing based on the words that he's using. His feelings are changing because he's using words that reflect those feelings, okay? So what you are going to do is you're going to go into You Are the Electric Boogaloo and just be yourself. And Ben started doing this yesterday. So you're going to find the reading that you were assigned. Remember, it's either You Are the Electric Boogaloo or Just Be Yourself. And you're going to go through and you're going to find words that have strong either positive or negative connotations. And you're going to put either a negative sign or a positive sign above them. So You Are the Electric Boogaloo is first. It's 15 paragraphs. And then Just Be Yourself is right underneath, and it's 7 paragraphs. When you scroll to the bottom, you'll see that there are 2 charts, one for You Are the Electric Boogaloo and one for Just Be Yourself. So you are going to fill out the chart that is on your specific piece of text, okay? So if you are going through and finding the connotations for You Are the Electric Boogaloo, you only do the chart for You Are the Electric Boogaloo. We will share our notes for the other article because the kids in class are doing expert groups, so you'll just have to get the notes afterwards. But for both of these, you'll see that I've provided an example. You guys know from your Edpuzzle that the denotation of a word is its dictionary definition. So one of the words that had a strong connotation in You Are the Electric Boogaloo is butterfly. I know that a butterfly is a bug with wings that actually flies. But in the context, the sentence, I'm trying to find where he talks about his butterfly pants. Here it is, paragraph 4. "I love your silver butterfly pants with 46 zippers that burst red fabric when you spin. Beautiful." I also know that there are pants or a style of pants in this particular text, and that's what they literally mean. Now, the connotation is very positive, and what I do is I say that the pants are being compared to the animal, making it seem like the dancer flies. And at the very end of that sentence, paragraph, in paragraph 4, he uses that word beautiful, okay, which has a very positive connotation. So love is very positive. Beautiful is very positive. Butterflies have a positive connotation for me, okay? They burst with red fabric when you spin. Positive. So I know that the overall connotation of that word is positive, and then I just explain why I think it's positive, okay? Same with you are the just be yourself. That word nightmares really stood out to me. Nightmares are extremely bad dreams. They have a very negative connotation. And I explained why I thought that he was using that word in a negative way, because he's describing the experiences that he had she had, with ballet as still being very vivid. They still kind of almost like haunt him to this day. Or her, But once you're finished with your chart, you're going to go through and you're going to try to identify what you think the author's tone is. Remember, author's tone is their attitude towards whatever subject. So if you're reading You Are the Electric Boogaloo, what is the author's tone while they're writing that letter to their past self? Or in Just Be Yourself, what is the author's tone when she's writing that letter to her past self? What are her feelings towards not getting so lost in finding yourself? What are the author's feelings with You Are the Electric Boogaloo and, messing up that one dance? What are they feeling towards that? So when you're working, you can either write in here or you can type. But if you are struggling with tone words, if you go in the resource section, you will find tone words, and there's ton. If you have a bunch of words in your chart that have positive connotations, you're probably going to be looking in this category right here, okay, for positive tone words. If you have kind of a mix, you might be more on the neutral side. And then if you have more negative, there are some over here. There's also an other category. And remember, if you don't know what some of these words mean, you are more than welcome to Google them. So once you are finished with that Electric Boogaloo and Be Yourself connotation activity, you are done for the day. And remember, with that, you are done for the day in OneNote, With that, you don't have to turn anything in. So once you are finished with that chart, you are actually going to use it to answer your discussion post. So your question is right here, okay? And you are responsible for creating a discussion post that answers this question above, all right? And this is how you prove to me that you are able to, analyze those connotative words and meanings and phrases. So with this particular one, you're comparing and contrasting the author's tone in You Are the Electric Boogaloo and Just Be Yourself. You're considering specific words and expressions in each selection and their connotation, the ideas or feelings that they raise, and explaining the impact that the connotations have on tone. With this particular piece, I just realized you're going to have the notes from your friends, so you probably won't even get to this point. But if you do message your peers for notes, you're more than welcome to start it, okay? So if you have any messages or if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and message me. I will see you tomorrow.